I want to be very clear that I have no reason to directly connect these two stories. These are two unrelated stories. The reason I'm sharing this, however, is because we are living in a time when we cannot afford to be naive. We are living in a time when we need to pay attention. And changes have been made to our government that cause it to not be doing its job. Firing of inspectors general, purging the highest ranks of our military officers, preventing members of Congress from performing their oversight duties. So what you have here is you have one story that migrants in the United States have been routinely shackled at the waist, wrists, ankles, and loaded onto cargo planes. Not just cargo planes, but cargo planes with the rear doors that can open mid-flight. Completely separate story. 5 corpses with their hands and feet bound have been found floating in the sea off the coast of Majorca. And since January, 31 bodies have been recovered there. Again, no reason to have these two stories directly connected, but we cannot be so naive as to think that things don't happen. I very much would like to know how it is that people are ending up floating up on beaches in the Mediterranean, shackled. This article here suggests that they're believed to be migrants who are attempting to travel the dangerous route from Algeria to Spain by. I don't. What migrants travel in shackles? That's something I very much do not understand. What do you mean that they're believed to be migrants who are attempting to travel the dangerous route from Algeria to Spain by boat? So this is one story. This is another. The other part of not being naive that I want to pay attention to. So you have to ask yourself, and I know there are a bunch of people out there who are ready to jump in and say, oh, no, it's more efficient to transport people by cargo planes. No, it's not. No, it's more economical and more efficient to use passenger planes for people, for passengers. You can get more people on the planes. They are more cost effective. Cargo planes are not cost effective. So forget about that argument. So then why do you do it? Well, maybe they're doing it to create fear, to create a sense of terror. All right. Another concern is maybe they're doing it to condition, both to condition people who get loaded onto planes to think this is normal, this is just how we do it, don't worry about this, and to condition those of us who are watching. So that when you've got somebody like me who raises concerns, I'm made to look foolish. You know, hey, why are you worrying about that? There's nothing really going on here. It's just the way we do things. It's conditioning us to think it's okay until such time as it's not okay and it's being used for more nefarious purposes. And of course, then we've got our potential worst case scenarios of why this is being done. We cannot afford to be naive. We cannot stop paying attention. We do not have sufficient government oversight, making sure that more nefarious things don't happen. And extremists have been welcomed, taken into the fold with this current administration. And so even if this current administration is not ordering atrocities, the extremists that they are in bed with will read between the lines of the things their great leader says and take actions on their own, thinking that they're aligned with the cause.
I just saw a video that sent chills up my spine. Like, it's horrifying. I just saw it for the first time. And the reason it did is because I remember watching a 60 Minutes, and I found that 60 Minutes, and I put a little piece in here to show you why you'll understand. You'll understand why. Take a look at this picture here. That cargo plane was loaded with immigrants in Omaha, Nebraska. Cargo planes are much more expensive to fly. I know the C-17s are at least 3 times that of more expensive than like a commercial airline. I'm trying to figure out the justification, but watch this piece right here. And the reason I bring this up is because of Stephen Miller and the evilness of this entire regime.
Every once in a while, we come across a story so extraordinary that it resists belief. Tonight, the saga of an airplane that doubled as an instrument of murder. During Argentina's ruthless dictatorship in the mid-70s, the Skyvan PA-51 was used to throw victims alive into the Atlantic Ocean. This plane, where many of them met their death, would have been lost in the contrails of history had it not been for an Italian documentary photographer, Giancarlo Ciraudo. The cockpit, just as it was when the military pilots flew their clandestine death missions, flying far enough over the Atlantic so the bodies wouldn't likely be recovered, and then dumping the victims out alive.